Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. You probably heard that quote somewhere before. If I haven't heard it 1,000 times, I haven't heard it once because it actually anchors one of the most famous passages ever written by or about a woman, I should say. It was written by a man about an unnamed woman. But right after that, in the passage, there is this really, really cool verse that I really, really like. It says, honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise in the city gates. How many of you have heard that quote? So today I want to honor this unnamed woman. In fact, she's a very famous woman. So as I continue to celebrate Women's History Month, it's been on my mind all month to just share about the unnamed woman in Proverbs 31. Now, there are many, many famous women in the world. I'm sure you can name a few without thinking about it. In fact, I want you to drop the name of your favorite woman in history. So you think about like Mother Teresa, Mary, the mother of Jesus, AJ, my mother. You have Oprah Winfrey, you have Michelle Obama, Margaret Thatcher. You have women who've made it to the moon, the first woman who've made it to the moon, the first doctor. Just so many historical women that we can name. Rosa Parks. She's now First Lady Lyndon Pendleton. I'm sure I got that wrong. But there's so many famous women in history that you can name, right? They have names. Yet to this day, have never ever heard of somebody with the name of Proverbs 31. I don't know of a school, a church, a hospital, a daycare with the name Proverbs 31. However, in my lifetime, just about every women's conference, Sunday school, anything to do with women, actually, this passage have been used. And we never really drop down to that last part. Praise her, honor her for the works of her hands, and let her be praised in the city gates. So today, I want to deep dive this unnamed woman. What is her name? Maybe God didn't put a name in their book because it's about you. Well, if you're new to this channel, my name is Paulette Rolle-Alesnik. And on this channel, we talk about personal finances. That is how to make extra money, how to create and develop multiple streams of income, and how to increase your wealth. Well, what does Proverbs 31 have to do with that? I'm so glad you asked. Because like the anchoring scripture talks about, let's honor her for the works of her hand. This woman, there's so much I can say about her. Let's deep dive it really quickly. I'm going to go to my notes because I've been studying this for a while and just wanted to pull out a few things. So often we talk about Proverbs 31 in Sunday school and church and youth group, and we prepare women to be wives, Women's Day, all that. But do we really deep dive the things that's in this passage? So, first of all, she's a precious treasure. She's a good wife to her husband. All right. Note she's a wife, not a girlfriend, not a sidekick. She's not a sweetheart. She is a wife. She is a seamstress. She sews her clothes, not just for herself, but for her family and those at the city gates, it says. She imports. This woman is an entrepreneur. She imports her good from afar, right? She gets up early. She goes to bed late. It says she cooks. I was about to skip that part. She cooks. She's a hard worker. She buys land, real estate. There you go. So here we go. She's a seamstress. She makes her clothing. She buys land. She's a realtor. She farms. She's a farmer, and she has people to work for her. So she has employees as well. Yeah, my notes are flying all over the place. So I'm gonna put those down. So she's a realtor. She's a farmer. She's a hard worker. It says that she buys and she invests. So she considers a land and she goes, I'm going to buy that. She's an investor. One of my favorite things to do. So this Proverbs 31 woman is an investor. She invests. It says that she makes high quality, she makes linen and purple garments, right? I wore my linen jacket today, well, linen suit, just because I'm talking about her. So she's high fashion, right? She's a fashion icon, I guess, of the day because she's wearing linen and purple garments. So that indicates wealth for this woman. I'm going to pause here in my notes because oftentimes you hear about Proverbs 31 woman and it prepares us to be a humble wife. It prepares us to be a church lady. It prepares us to do so many things. But how often are we taught that this woman is an investor, that she's a fashion icon? Do you see yourself in her yet? Do you see yourself in her? She plans for the future, right? In our day, we have 401ks and Roth IRAs. We have these sort of things. It says she doesn't even worry about the future because it's good. Like it's good here at this house, at this address. She doesn't worry about the winter. She doesn't worry that it's going to get cold, snow, because her household, they're taken care of. Why? Because she's planned it. When it was day, she planned, she farmed, she invested, she created linen, she made clothing. She sold clothing. This woman is really the bomb, guys. She's the bomb. So it says she plans for the future. She invests for her family. She takes care of her family and her employee. She's into retail, real estate too, but she's into retail. How do I know that? Because it says that she makes fine linen and she sells them at the city gates, right? I guess today that would be considered our marketplace, straw market, for those of you who understand that term. So she makes linen and she takes it to the marketplace and she sells them. What is that? A realtor. She's selling stuff. She is charitable. She's giving. She gives to the poor. She remembers the poor, right? And she's a woman of God. She's strong. She has grace. Her children praise her name. Her husband reveres her, calls her blessed. She's an advisor. Whenever she opens her mouth, it says wisdom and honor comes out of her mouth. So she's a advisor. She's a consultant for things of God and things that has to do with moving people forward. She's not at the marketplace chit-chatting. She's about her business here. And last but not least, she is a wise woman. So when you think about, I want you, when you have a chance, please, here we go, what's going on, to read Proverbs 31. And not just verse 30, which is the famous verse, but read all of it from 10 to 31. And after you've read it, tell me what you think. Maybe drop a comment below. Where do you see yourself in her story? So in history, how is it that this very famous passage about this famous unknown woman, that she has no name? How is it that she has no name? I believe, this is speculation here, that it is written this way so that we can see ourselves in her. We can see ourselves in her. But one thing I know, she's a wise woman, she's a wife, she's a rich woman, she's an entrepreneur. Those are the things I see in her. Those are the takeaway I get from Proverbs 31. I hope that you get takeaways from them. Whatever you get, I want you to drop it in the chat below. Also, too, if you like this content or you like videos like this, please like the video, share, subscribe so you can get reminders, or just come on back whenever. Tell me what's your takeaway today from the unnamed woman, Proverbs 31. Like, what's her name? Maybe she doesn't have a name because this passage is about you. Thank you for dropping by today, and have a great evening. Bye now.